Why increased rainfall in the Arctic is bad news for the whole world. Richard Hodgkins, Senior Lecturer, Physical Geography, Loughborough University of the UK, on the conversation. Before the end of this century, most of the Arctic will, for the first time, receive more rain than snow across the whole year. That's one of the key findings of a new study on precipitation in the Arctic, which has major implications, not just for the polar region, but for the whole world. While the reduction in frozen ocean surface is one of the most widely recognized impacts of Arctic warming, it's also long been anticipated that a warmer Arctic will be a wetter one as well, with more intense cycling of water between land, atmosphere, and ocean. The shift from a frozen region towards a warmer, wetter Arctic is driven by the capacity of a warmer atmosphere to hold more moisture, by increased rates of evaporation from ice-free oceans, and by jet stream relaxation. The Arctic water cycle is expected to shift from a snow-dominated one towards a rain-dominated one during the 21st century, although the timing of this is uncertain. Now a team of scientists have published a new study in the journal Nature Communications, which suggests that this shift will occur earlier than previously projected. The effect will be particularly strong in autumn, with most of the Arctic Ocean, Siberia, and the Canadian archipelago becoming rain-dominated by the 2070s instead of 2090s. Warmer and wetter is not necessarily better. Such a profound change to the Arctic water cycle will inevitably affect ecosystems on land and in the ocean. You might intuitively expect that a warmer and wetter Arctic would be very favorable for ecosystems. Rainforests have many more species than tundra after all, but the plants and animals of the Arctic have evolved for cold conditions over millions of years, and their relatively simple food web is vulnerable to disturbance. For example, warmer temperatures can cause larval insects to emerge earlier, before the fish species that fed upon them have hatched. More rainfall means more nutrients washed into the rivers, which should benefit the microscopic plants at the base of the food chain. However, this also makes rivers and coastal waters more murky, blocking light needed for photosynthesis and potentially clogging filter-feeding animals, including some whales or sharks. Brackish water, typically supported for fewer species than either freshwater or seawater, so increased flows of freshwater offshore may well reduce the range of animals and plants along the Arctic coast. Further into the Arctic Ocean, there are more reasons to doubt the potential benefits of warmer temperatures and greater freshwater circulation. The dissolved constituents of rainfall, river water, and melting snow and ice reduce the alkalinity of Arctic surface waters, which makes it harder for marine organisms to build their shells and skeletons, and limits chemical neutralization of the acidifying effects of CO2 absorbed in the seawater. At the same time, rivers flowing through the degrading permafrost will wash organic material into the sea, and bacteria can convert CO2, making the ocean more acidic. Fresh water also essentially floats on denser water. This causes the ocean to become stratified, impeding exchanges of nutrients and organisms between the deep sea and the surface, and restricting biological activity. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box. Therefore, the likely impacts of the warmer, wetter Arctic on food webs, biodiversity, and food security are uncertain, but are unlikely to be uniformly positive. Arctic change is decades ahead of global averages. Temperature increases in the Arctic have raced ahead of the global average. This will only be reinforced as snowfall is reduced and rainfall increases, since snow reflects the sun's energy back into space. As the land becomes less snowy and less reflective, bare ground will absorb more solar energy and thus will warm up. The Arctic is set to continue warming faster than elsewhere, further diminishing the difference in temperature between the warmest and coldest parts of the planet, with complex implications for the oceans and atmosphere. The recent COP26 climate summit in Glasgow focused on efforts to keep 1.5 degrees Celsius alive. It was worth remembering that the 1.5 degrees Celsius figure is a global average and that the Arctic will warm by at least twice as much as this, even for modest projections. The new study underscores the importance of the global 1.5 degrees Celsius target for the Arctic. For instance, at that level of warming, Greenland is expected to transition to a rainfall-dominated climate for most of the year, while at 3 degrees Celsius warming, which is close to the current pathway based on existing policies rather than pledges, most regions of the Arctic will transition to a rainfall-dominated climate before the end of the 21st century. It's research that adds further weight to calls for improved monitoring of Arctic hydrological systems and to the growing awareness of considerable impacts of even small increments of atmospheric warming. This is on The Conversation. Please. Now let's take a look at the real-time Arctic weather, see what's going on there. Here we are at Null School, and I have the settings for temperature, air temperature. Should we see ocean temperature as well? Ocean temperature. Look how hot it is there. Why is that so hot there? At the tip of Greenland. Now, I've really not spent too much time examining what's happening in the Arctic, but this is the color code right there, as you can see. It's hotter there than it is on the east coast of the United States, for example. Okay, we have Alaska with such, maybe there's volcanic activity that we don't know of. Look at Japan, that line there. Hot there as well. Hawaii, let's go to Hawaii. No, nothing there. Okay, let's go back here again. Very strange that that's so hot there. The ocean, that's the ocean temperature. Air temperature, okay. And you can see here, air temperature is not at all bad, south of Greenland. Now let's go to the current weather. I found this weather forecast for the Arctic, and I've changed it to degrees Fahrenheit right here. And this is concerning rain and snow. Rain is in gray and purple. Snow is from green to red. Okay, snow here green. Gray to purple is the rain. Snow in the northern Europe, rain here. Let's go to our weather map. What's this for now? Let's see. Play. Okay. There we go. I'm trying to find Greenland here. I guess it's around here. Hold on. Okay. Yes, it should be around there. Okay. Let's go to our cloud map. There we are. Clouds. And to our temperature map, which is the most important. Okay. Sea level pressure in millibars. Okay, let's go here, play this. loading now, preloading. Okay, there we go. Temperatures, okay. It's, I would say it's about from -13 to -4. This is 14 degrees above zero right here. We're talking in Fahrenheit now. Okay, these are very much cooler, much warmer there as well. That's Svalbard around there. This is Iceland right there. That's about Svalbard, and this is the Arctic right there. So Siberia and northern territories of Canada are cold. Svalbard, as you can see, in Norway, are warmer. Okay, that's today's weather, real time. I'll leave links below for you for this. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support.